STEMedia Live. In case you don't know, if this is your first time, this is the place where we chat with some of the most inspirational and creative, and tonight, emphasis on the creative people in our community, the STEM community, all facets of our community. And in case you don't know, tonight we have a special guest, Miss Paulina Chávez. And I think she's already in the building, and we're not going to keep you waiting much longer. In case you don't know, this is also streaming for the first time ever. We're streaming this on YouTube as well as Instagram Live. So if you haven't been to our YouTube channel, we're really going to start leaning into that a little bit more moving forward. So go to youtube.com/STEMedia and subscribe if you're interested in more inspirational and creative STEM content. All right, so without further ado, guys, the woman of the hour, we are about to bring her on. Her name is Miss Paulina Chávez. She is known for her lead role in Netflix's new series, right now on Netflix streaming, The Expanding Universe of Ashley Garcia. Right now she plays a 15-year-old rocket scientist with 2 PhDs who moves to California to stay with her uncle to work for NASA JPL. And so we're going to hear about her experience real life as well as on screen. We're about to welcome, present to some, introduce to others, none other than our guest, Miss Paulina Chávez. She joins us. There she is!
Hi!
Hey, the hearts are your applause. I know you've done IG Live several times, but that's your applause. Come on out. Yeah, you're shaking everybody's hand. If we were on the actual late night show, Paulina, we would have a band playing and everything. I promise you.
Oh,
we got the hearts
so much
going.
for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I'm excited to have you. We're so excited to have this opportunity. I can't tell you how much of an inspiration you've been to this community. We're so happy that you are going to take the time to just talk a little bit about your role and then your story. Yes. All right. So everybody's saying, hey, so here's how we normally kick things off, Paulina. We usually ask our guests here on STEMedia Live to give us a random fun fact about yourself. Now, we're going to get into the acting. We're going to get into STEM. But give us something that unexpected that you can tell us about Paulina Chávez.
Okay, so I can solve the Rubik's Cube in under 5 minutes.
Whoa, impressive.
Yeah,
impressive.
and I'm
So
still
you're a
working
genius
on
in
it.
real life. You're a genius in real life. You don't just play them on TV.
I'm a genius when it comes to the arts. But no, I absolutely enjoyed science growing up. That was one of my favorite subjects.
Gotcha. So who taught you how to do, who introduced the Rubik's Cube to you? Like, when did you get on that?
Actually, my sister's ex-boyfriend used to solve the Rubik's Cube super fast, and that really inspired me to solve it, to figure it out.
So you put your mind to it and got faster and faster and faster.
Exactly. It was a fun adventure, but I think, did it take me a week to figure it out? A week.
A week? Wow. That's better than me because I can't say that I can do it in 5 minutes. I promise you. Well, awesome, man. I really think this is cool to have you on. Let's go back to the beginning, though. Like, obviously, you are an artist. You are a genius in your own right. But let's talk about the early days. Like, where are you from? Where's your family from? We have a lot of Latinas and people just into STEM that's really interested to hear just more about you. So give us the early days of your childhood.
All right, so I was born in El Paso, Texas. It's a border town to Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua. And I remember almost every weekend, we would go to Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua and go visit my aunts and just have house parties and just party all the time. I was little, so I feel like it was partying, but it was probably just like a chill gathering. And it was super fun. We would always end the night singing rancheras and stuff like that. Yeah, and my parents, my mom is from LA and she grew up in El Paso, and my dad was born in El Paso and he grew up in Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua. And my grandparents are from Chihuahua and Zacatecas, Mexico.
Oh, I love it. Mexico. So did y'all have the mariachi at those parties and stuff? Did you have the instruments out?
I don't think so. It was mostly karaoke and acapella
karaoke.
stuff. But that really motivated me to, now that I'm here in San Antonio, there's so many opportunities here. And the school that I went to was so fortunate to have a mariachi group. And so that's where I joined the mariachi group. And I learned how to play violin. I'm not the best player, but I know how to play.
Yeah.
I can get by with the group. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also
yeah,
do
yeah.
vocals.
That's awesome. Vocals and violin. I think I could probably fit in with the guitar on a little bit because I play the bass guitar.
Yes.
So I
Oh my
probably could probably pick up
gosh.
something. You know what I
That would be
mean?
so cool. Yes, you should. You should try
Yeah,
it. It's a fun
yeah.
instrument. I wanted to play that, but I was so small back then that they were like,
Uh,
maybe you should play the violin. And I was like,
yeah.
okay.
Got you, got you, got you. So you mentioned you have a sister. Do you have other siblings? Like, what was
I
growing up like childhood while with your siblings?
Oh my gosh. So my sisters, I have two older sisters. They're older than me. I think we're like 9 years apart.
Hmm.
So I was always like the little kid just going in and ruining everything.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Get out of my
um,
room. Yeah.
but no, now that we're older, we just chill and we talk about life a lot. My
Okay.
oldest sister, she's a civil engineer and she lives in Colorado.
Ah,
Yeah, and
awesome. What's her name? Shout out to her.
Celeste Chavez. I don't know if you're watching. Oh, Celeste Shin Chavez
Okay, okay. Shout out to
or
you.
Chavez
You know,
Shin. I don't know what the
you
I
don't know the
can't.
order.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
but
It's
yeah,
one of the. Okay.
Chavez Shin, I think.
Well, shout out to her. Like, 'cause I
Yeah.
don't know if you know, but I'm actually a civil engineer. I'm a working civil
Yes.
engineer. That's my
Yes.
particular STEM background. I work and I do bridges. And
Nice.
other things that we may have in common is I actually started my career at NASA, very similar to your character.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, my brother-in-law is a civil engineer too, and he works on bridges as
Oh,
well.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you got STEM in your family. So what do you remember early in terms of like science and engineering? Like, were there any type of memories or early interests that you may have had in the STEM domain?
Yeah, I remember wanting to be a scientist when I was little. I always had a blast in classes doing that, and I remember being so inspired by my sister being an engineer that at one point I was like, I'm gonna go to college for engineering. That didn't happen.
Really?
It could happen
Got
though.
you.
I still
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
bright future, a very long future ahead. I could
You
easily just
never
go.
know.
I never know.
Yep.
And yeah, I think at one point I also wanted to be a detective, and then I realized I actually wanted to be a detective on a movie.
There you go. On the screen to take the.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, everybody, let's get the hearts going. She's definitely giving us a lot of interesting information about her background. Paulina Chavez, everybody, give her the hearts. She is the lead actress in the Netflix show, The Expanding Universe of Ashley Garcia. And we're going to get into that a little bit, Paulina. But here's one of the things I think is so cool, right? Because there are people like yourself who are now becoming prominent on screen through various avenues, right? And I think something that's similar about the STEM fields as well as on screen is that at one point in time, there was definitely an underrepresentation of people of color, even on the screen, right?
Yeah.
And now you being a Latina, you're breaking into the industry. You had an opportunity to work with obviously like other pioneers, Eva
Yes.
Longoria and Mario Lopez and
Yeah.
all of those. And now you're bringing images to another field that's also underrepresented, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit about your first impressions when you heard about this role, when you got the script and you decided to like go out and audition for it. Talk a little bit about that.
It was a regular Wednesday night, and it was just
Okay.
another audition for me. I got the email and I read the script. Obviously, that's what you do. I read the
Yeah.
script and I was immediately mind blown that her name, the Latina scientist, robotics engineer, it's in the title, and she's the lead.
Yeah.
And it's telling
Yeah.
her story, and that's just blew my mind because at the time when I auditioned, which was about a year ago,
Okay.
there was not a lot of that. I think one of the top shows that were out there was Jane the Virgin and One Day
Yes.
at a Time. I love those shows. And a lot of Latino shows just always get canceled. I see that a lot. I think Grand Hotel, the remake, just got canceled. I was really sad. I really enjoyed that show. Telenovela also got canceled. And so I was like, this has so much potential because it's not a story that you always hear. You hear it
Right.
all the time in real life.
Yes.
But you don't see it on TV and film.
Yes. Yep.
And we need those shows so that our young audiences, the young Latinos, everybody can see themselves as that and say, hey, I can do that. I'm going to do that. We just want to
Yeah.
inspire them. And so I was super excited. I went all out for the audition, and I crossed my fingers, hoping to get
Yeah.
a call back at least.
Yeah.
And a week later, they called me directly for testing, and so it just went up from there.
From
Insane.
there, from there.
Yeah.
And I understand there was like a quick turnaround. Like you got it, you said on Wednesday night, you had to learn the lines like
Yeah.
within the day or two.
Yeah, I was due on a Friday morning. And
Yeah.
so the very first scene was the opening pilot scene where she's like, "Hi, I'm Ashley Garcia."
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty bad at memorizing. I have to, back then I had to like write my lines down 3 times, but for some
Hmm.
reason those lines just came so naturally for me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm saying hard words, but I can actually do it.
Yes,
So yeah.
yes. So you got a script and you're like, oh man, I have to talk about terrestrial, like Mars gas and microbit life and all that. You're like, oh man, I need to wrap my mind around this, know what I'm saying, and be able to like embody the character
Yeah, I
very
mean,
fast.
I don't know how, but I just felt like I was the character. It was a different version of myself. I mean, we have a
Yeah.
lot in common. She worked hard in her education to graduate and get a steady job. And I
Yes.
got out of school, I got homeschooled so that I can focus on my career and focus on acting.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing results.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still working hard. And I think Ashley and I now are just like sitting back and just taking in life and enjoying life,
Yes.
little moments. And Ashley just wants to have those moments with
Yes.
new friends and have new relationships, and she's gonna experience new emotions that she's never felt before.
Let me take a step back, Paulina, real quick. How did you get into acting to begin with? Like, how did that origin story start? Was that like a high school class or like what was it?
It was actually an elementary program. I was just so blessed with the schools that I went to. My mom worked at that school. And I remember we moved there. I was a first grader, and I would sit in the practices and just watch the shows come to life. Their theater program is amazing, ran by Carl Dickerson. I know
Yeah.
he's watching. Hi, how you doing?
Shout out to you.
He's amazing, and that really inspired me the following year to audition, and
Yeah.
my theater years came. And after that, after elementary school was over, obviously I couldn't take Carl Dickerson with me, and so that he could direct
Yeah.
all of the programs in middle school. So
Yeah.
I decided to try film acting, and so my
Hmm.
mom and I and dad, they would drive me 5 hours to Dallas, nearly
Wow.
almost every weekend, so that I can take
From
acting
San
classes. My mom is
Antonio
like
or
right
from
here
the
sitting,
border
and I was
town?
like, yeah. Sorry, what was
Was
that?
that from San Antonio or from like the border town?
From San Antonio. Um,
Okay.
and so yeah, they really supported me, and I'm just so grateful to be here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And so when did like because Netflix was shot in LA? I mean not Netflix, but Ashley Garcia was shot in
Yes.
LA.
Yes, it
So when did
was.
you start like how did the progression go from like Texas, which I don't really know how the industry is in Texas. I'm sure there's a little work
Oh
there
yeah,
to like
it's getting
LA
bigger.
where like all the action is. Okay.
Oh my gosh, crazy,
Yeah.
insane. I had never worked in LA before, but no, my mom and I took it as a journey, and it's a wonderful experience. I mean, the process of moving there was a little intimidating,
Yeah.
and it was hard because a week before we actually had to get in the car and pack all our stuff and leave, my grandma sadly passed away. Um,
Oh,
but she was always super proud of me and always wanted me to
yes.
succeed. She was actually supposed to come with us, but sadly she couldn't.
Right. Right.
But she's in peace now, and I hope she's proud of me.
Yes, yes. And everything that you got from her, lessons from her, and I'm sure your parents, you're taking
Yeah,
with you into this new career. And
for
something
sure.
you all probably don't know if you're watching this, and you mentioned it really quick, Paulina, but you are a recent high school graduate. So y'all
I
give
am.
her some hearts, give her some congratulations, give her some love. You just finished high school, and
That's
now
right.
you are like really about to dive like fully into this new
Yeah,
career.
yeah, I
Yeah.
am. Um, yeah, I did graduate a year early. As soon as I found out that I booked Ashley Garcia, I didn't want to worry about school while shooting, mainly because I knew I was the main character, which was insane,
Yeah.
and I knew there was not going to be a lot of downtime, and I was right. I
Yeah.
So I decided to graduate early, And so I think I finished senior year in 3 months, around three
What?
months.
Senior
I don't,
year in 3 months?
yeah. I
Was
to
that
this day, I
not
have no idea. Something in my brain was like, you have to do school. And I was just like,
yeah,
go, go, go. I was
okay.
writing essays every single day. Um,
Mm-hmm. While you were shooting? While you were shooting? Were you actually shooting while
no,
you were doing it?
we weren't shooting
Okay.
just yet. It was before I
Okay.
had to move.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. She finished her senior year of high school in 3 months, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. That's incredible. So let's get into the show a little bit though. For
Yes.
those who haven't watched the show, all right, we saw some people say that they binge watched it in like one day, and I loved watching the show and it was nice just seeing. First of all, I thought it was like well written, right? It was one of those
Yes.
shows, yes, like
Amazing
people
writers.
always amazing writers and people and it kept you to the end, right? Because
Hmm.
people always say like shows are shallow sometimes, but I feel like your show had the whole like will she, won't she kind of like thread throughout the whole thing. And for those who haven't watched it, we're not gonna give everything away. But there's the Team Stick, and then there's the
Hmm.
Team Tad, and there's
Tad.
like, oh man, what's going on? Then there's the uncle played by I think Jen Carlos.
Yes. Think I'm just gonna laugh.
Yes,
Oh my
yes, yes,
gosh.
yes. So one of the things I noticed on screen though is the chemistry you had with all of the people that you were working with. Like, talk a little bit about that relationship, even off camera, and then how did kind of that whole world get created in
Mhm.
such a believable manner.
I mean, I want to thank Jodie Hahn. She was the first director that we had. She directed 4 episodes, and she really made the set and the vibe on Ashley Garcia so homey and loving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, I mean, I feel like the whole cast and we just connected instantly. I remember when I did the chemistry read with Giancarlo Canela, which was also my
Okay.
testing. I mean,
Yes.
we immediately connected, and he's like an older brother to me. He really is,
Yeah.
and I really love him.
Yeah.
Bella, Connor, and Reed, they are amazing. They're just such a fresh air, you know. They're
Yeah.
also kind of new to the industry, and so we were all in it together. We really are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know every lunch we would all just sit down in the common area and just hang out and talk.
Just hang out. So it was real chemistry off camera, and
Yeah.
that
And
showed up throughout the
exactly.
series.
Exactly. And
Yes.
I mean the cast and crew, oh my gosh, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
We really are just a big family.
Big family. I love it. That's great to hear. And because, so many times a lot of people watching this, right? We work in labs. Some of us work at desks. Some
Yeah.
of us work out in the field and the more creative, people
Hmm.
facing. But really, the people make it break the experience,
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it is the non-technical aspects of a job
Hmm.
that can make it attractive or not attractive,
Yeah.
for you to go in every
Exactly.
day. So
Exactly.
how long did you all shoot though? Like how long did the shooting last?
It was 6 months, around six
Okay.
months.
One of my favorite scenes I think was when you were in like I think a lab at JPL, NASA
Yeah.
JPL. Shout out to NASA JPL. I thought that was just so cool, and you were like I think configuring a robot that's supposed to help astronauts do things on Mars and they control it, right? From inside the
Yeah.
space shuttle or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I remember like you had to like fry the egg or whatever, break the egg. And I was always thinking to myself when I would watch these shows, like, how much of this is, TV magic and how much of this is like actual technology on set. So I'm just curious. I don't know how much you can reveal.
Yeah.
What type of like TV magic behind the scene insight can you give us on that particular scene and even the other scenes as it relates to technology on screen?
Yeah. Well, we did have a real robot on set, and we had amazing
Okay.
robotic engineers come in to navigate the robot.
Yeah.
So we had the robot and someone behind the scene maneuvering it to
Okay.
copy what Reed was doing, who plays Stick.
Okay.
But yeah, and the robot was a little slow, so there's some TV speed up there going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, that robot is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it almost killed me a couple of times.
He almost killed you. Oh no, that's not good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was on accident though. I'm gonna release a little spoiler. It was learning how to dance, okay?
Oh, really? Really?
Part two
Okay.
spoilers coming soon.
Oh, yes. Yes. People are excited. People are watching it right now. Um, so when it came to like those things, like, did you ever get a chance to actually go to NASA JPL? I saw Maritza ask that question. Did you actually go to NASA JPL at
I
all?
actually didn't get the chance to do that,
Okay.
but I remember when we finished shooting, my mom was trying to set up a little tour of
Yes.
JPL. Sadly, we didn't get to do that. But
Okay.
hopefully in the future we will be able to do that.
Yes.
That would be a lot
In
of
the
fun.
future.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I was super close to getting a NASA JPL job. As I told you, as a teenager, like Ashley Garcia, I
Hmm.
started my career at another NASA station in Alabama.
Hmm.
Didn't really know what I was doing. I definitely didn't have two PhDs at that time. I still don't have two PhDs. But that was a really interesting experience. And in
Yeah.
that, in the show, I think it's really cool. Going back to the writers, right?
Hmm.
How the goal was for you as a character who
Hmm.
fast tracked your career, you're doing amazing adult stuff in terms of your profession, but you still are kind of like going back to,
Yeah.
normal life as a
Hmm.
teenager. And
Exactly.
so I'm just curious, like, what are some of the things maybe in that regard or in other aspects do you feel as though you relate to as your career progresses as an actor?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love how Ashley Garcia is still grounded and just wanting to learn about being a teenager. Same with me. I didn't have the teenage experience because I was homeschooled, but now, as soon as quarantine is over and we can actually
Yes.
not be 6 feet apart, we can actually
Hmm.
be together. Um,
Yeah.
I do want to meet new people and I do want to hang out with people my own age.
One of the things I loved again about the show, another thing, not really just the scene about the robot
Mhm.
and and all the other like technological things was the message though. There was a message that continued to flow through and it really came home in the last episode, and that was about following your dreams,
Mhm.
right? Following your dreams. And I think your uncle Victor, well, Ashley's uncle Victor on screen
Yeah.
said, when you lose your dreams, you lose a part of yourself. And I
Yeah.
remember listening to that, and I was like, man, that hit me like
Yeah.
for real, beyond the entertainment. Like that really did stick to me. And
Mhm.
so I'm just wondering, as you like, you're talking to a lot of us who have both technical and creative interests, and people who are really, really inspired in various ways by this show. What is something you would say on that note when it comes to following your dreams and why it's important to keep that hope alive for
Yeah.
whatever you are aspiring to do?
Yeah. I mean, everybody has dreams, and even the craziest dreams, being an actor, being an astronaut, they are possible. And as long as you set your mind to it, work hard, have self-discipline, you can really do whatever you set your mind to. The impossible is possible.
Yeah.
And always surround yourself by positive people. There are so many people who are going to try to drag you down and say your dream is stupid, and it's not
Mhm.
stupid. Do not believe that. So, really surround yourself by positive people. Your light is so bright, and so
Yeah.
it's only going to get brighter as you get older and as you continue
Yeah.
learning. Never stop learning. Please never stop learning, even if it's learning about yourself. Um, I feel like right now is a perfect time to self love and discover yourself.
Hmm.
It's not going to happen one day to the next. It takes time. Remember that it takes time. Um, and if you have time, take the time.
Appreciate you sharing that. Paulina, if you're okay with it, I'm gonna go ahead and take a few questions. Let's see,
For sure.
from people. Let's see. Anna says she loves the way your show portrays the strength of Latinx families.
Mhm.
Yes, 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 yes. You want to say a
Yes.
word on that as it relates to your uncle? I remember your
Oh
mom in the
my God.
show, Ashley's mom, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I absolutely love the relationships aspects of it. And I love the relationship that Ashley and Vic have. And I'm
Hmm.
hoping that in the future, hopefully we get picked up by season 2.
Yes,
Um,
yes. We gotta.
I
Who we gotta
really want to
call? We gotta call people.
incorporate. I really want to incorporate more Spanish speaking because a Latin family they mostly speak Spanish or
Hmm.
Spanglish, and so it would be cool to
Hmm.
have some scenes with Uncle Victor in Spanish. That would be fun.
Yes, that would be great. That would be
Hmm.
great. Maritza, a good friend of ours, she has
community on Instagram called Engineering Gals. And she asked the question, are you involved with the She Can STEM film initiative? And I don't know if you've heard of it, but She Can STEM. Have you heard of the film initiative at all?
I have not. What is that?
So it is a initiative that is, you can try my best. I'm trying my best to explain it, but Mercy, you can chime in. But it's basically seeking ways to continue to promote images like the expanding universe of Ashley Garcia on on screen that promote women and girls in STEM.
Ooh.
And we just really feel like, here at STEMedia and everyone else that, the perception sometimes is what drives the person forward. They have the ability, but being able to picture themselves in a role, and that's what Ashley Garcia is doing for them, is really what moves the needle forward or continues to inspire them to move forward. And so that's a wonderful initiative you should look into.
That would be amazing. Can you please send that to me through email or something? I want to join that. That's amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, Ashley Garcia is only the beginning. And I as a Latina, I want to work with other Latinos, Eva Longoria, Mario Lopez, in promoting those stories, because we need to tell those stories. For sure, Eva Longoria, Mario Lopez, Melissa Joan Hart, they're part of this project because they found a future for it, and they really found the voice in it, and they believe in the project. So does Cristela Alonso, who plays the mom. She was part of the project because she believes in it. And again, it's not something you see every day on screen. And so, and I'm just so thankful and honored to be working with these amazing, incredible people.
So why do you think diversity is so important?
It's always important. I mean, my sister, I remember her telling us stories about how she was one of few women in her class of engineering. And I mean, we just need it. We really do, because it's out there. I mean, it really is out there. And so we need young girls, young men to be part of STEM if you enjoy it. Only if you enjoy it. Please enjoy it to your heart.
Yes.
But yeah, we need that diversity.
Someone asked, are there ever any microaggressions that you have experienced in the industry? And this is a pretty deep question, but as it relates to being either female or a person of color, and by microaggressions meaning little things that may hint at perhaps assumptions or underestimations as it relates to who you are, or even your age, even.
I have to really think about that. My mom's like,
yeah, I know that's a good question. I think that was asked by Lorena, and a couple of people followed up with it as well.
Ooh. I mean, I had a really great experience on set with so many great people. I've been told a lot by people who interview me that I'm wise beyond my years. I don't know if I believe that, but but no, I don't. I had a really great experience, and
that's great.
So,
great.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to the people who you worked with, people who created that environment. Just a wonderful job they did.
And I mean, I was just very fortunate and lucky to have that, because I know every set is differently, and I may never have an experience like this again. So I am grateful for that.
What would you hope you were to hear a young girl tell you 5 years from now? And what impact would you like to make? And by the way, he throws in a kudos to the work you are doing.
I guess hearing young people just following their dreams, saying what they really want to do, whether it's acting, engineering, being an astronaut, a scientist, whatever it is. I think just hearing them succeed their dream, and hopefully that their guardians and parents are helping them achieve that. I think that's very fulfilling.
All right. Here's one thing I think is interesting, Paulina, and that is one of the similarities, I think, from your job, right? You worked on this TV show and you knew about it before the world knew about it. You put in those hours, you learned those lines, and that's very similar to what a lot of us do as scientists when we're working in a lab or when we're designing, in my case, a bridge that no one has seen yet, but we're in the thick of it, right? And then at some point along the line, like when time passes, when you're done, and maybe you've even moved on in your thought process, working on something else. Then the world finds out about it. Then the promo starts. Then it's like, hey, introducing this new series. The trailer drops or whatever the case may be. Tell us a little bit about how you felt when all this began to happen, when you began to see like the fruit of your labor come on the screen and people start DMing you and your follower count started going up. Talk about that when the world began to see it and you began to see the finishing product after you had already worked so hard on it.
It's surreal. And even to this day, I don't even believe it. I haven't even processed it yet. But a time where I really fanned out was when I saw our billboard on Sunset Boulevard.
Wow.
And see my big giant face just there. And cars driving by with the traffic just watching it and me like jumping up and down and screaming.
You took a picture on your IG right out there, didn't you?
I did.
Like, yo, that's me.
Oh my gosh. I think that was crazy. And even during shooting, I remember Bella and I would have these moments where we were in between takes and we would just
Belle she plays Brooke, right? Belle,
yes, she plays Brooke. And we would have these moments where in between scenes, we would just be sitting on the other side of the camera and just take it in. Like we are actually on a studio set and we are playing different people. Like we were actually doing what we've been trained to do. And I really enjoyed the audience shows. I loved interacting with everybody.
So all of the shows, were some of them in front of the audience, others weren't? Like, how did that go? You said you really enjoyed the audience shows.
Yeah. So we would have 2 shooting days, and one day we would do pre-shoots, and then the other day we would do some other pre-shoots, and then everything else in front of the live studio audience. And there are some episodes that were a little bit too complicated to shoot in front of the live studio, so we wouldn't have done those. But most of them were done in front of live studio audience. The laughs are real. The laughs are real.
The laughs are real. Yeah, that's definitely like an industry thing, right? Like the laughs are real. No, I can tell definitely because there are times where like I would laugh, and again, like the guy who played Victor, how do you pronounce his name? I don't want to like butcher. Giancarlos. Okay. He was great. He was really funny.
Oh my gosh.
A comedian seems like even comedy was kind of natural from his character.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I think he's my favorite character. He really is.
Yeah. Is there a possibility for crossover with Netflix shows? So like a spinoff?
They came to our set, and recently before everything started shutting down, we shot the episode with them. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's out already. I feel like it is, but my mom's like, no. So I'm not going to say anything, Mitchell.
Okay, all right. We won't get you in trouble.
Can I say that or no?
We won't get in trouble, Mitchell. Mom, we're not going to get in trouble. But that was enough. A lot of people are going to take that and eat it up. We got a lot of great fans on here. And so we appreciate the little breadcrumb you shared with us on that.
Yeah. Latina actress to look up to. I have so many.
Good question.
I have so many. But to name a few, Gina Rodriguez is one of my favorites. Zoe Saldana, America Ferrera, Eva Longoria, of course. So many.
Yes.
Eva
Longoria is a boss.
Salma Hayek.
Yes. Awesome. Hey, any possibilities? CG host said any possibilities of a singing career on the side? Because you are a musician. Yes. So any possibilities of that?
The last time I checked, Jen and I are working on an EP, and we're super excited to get started on that. I'm excited to get started on that.
You and who? You and who are working on the EP?
Carlos. Me and Jen Carlos.
Oh, together.
So yeah.
Oh, nice.
He found out that I could sing, and so he was like, "We need to do something," and I was like, I don't know. And then like a month later, I was like, okay, I want to do something. I want to do something singing related because I love singing. So we have that coming out soon. Singing for Science. So songs for singing. No. Why not?
That's a good one. Thanks, Mom. I like you said. So check this out. I don't know if you remember, we've been doing this for a while, and really STEMedia started as an effort to combine the creative interest with technical intelligence. So creativity and technical. And so it's really spawned into so many of different brands and communities that are now here on the live. And STEM music is one of the communities. Shout out to STEM music with Roy. There's Raven, the science maven. She was on here earlier. She is also a Latina, Afro-Latina. She has an EP coming out. She comes out. She did a video about COVID-19 that was, a song that went viral pretty well. And so there's a lot of like merging of the two.
Yeah.
And so I love that your mom said that, because someone on here, I know that for a fact, there's definitely someone on here that's doing some music in the STEM domain, and you may have an opportunity to marry those two interests.
Yeah. Let's collab, please.
Yes. And I'm going to sit back and let you just go. But I've seen more than one or more person say something in Spanish, talk in Spanish, give us a shout out to all of our Spanish speaking viewers, if that's okay with you.
Sí, claro. Te amo tanto y todavía estoy practicando mi español, pero estoy aprendiendo. Mi primer lengua era español, pero cuando fui a la escuela no estaba en clase de bilingüe y I lost it. I did lose it. Pero I'm dyslexic, so it would have been very hard to learn both, pero estoy aprendiendo otra vez. Mi mamá puede hablar español e inglés perfectamente, and sí, nomás estoy aprendiendo lo que puedas, y los quiero mucho.
We can expect, as we continue to pay attention to you and all the great things you're doing on screen and music and film, and even in STEM, like what are some of the things that we can expect in the future as we continue to follow you?
I am going to help Latinos achieve their dreams in any way that I can. I'm actually offering a scholarship. I think the deadline already closed for my graduating class. This would have been my graduating year. And so the school that I would have went to, I'm offered a scholarship to middle class Latinos, because being middle class myself, I know it's super hard to submit to scholarships because they usually won't give them to you because you have enough money. My sister struggled on that, and so as much as I can give to them, it's not a lot, but it could help with books and small things for school. So that's something that I want to do, and hopefully going to open it up to the city next year. But I just want to continue helping Latinos, and hoping to do roles that tell their stories, not only positive, but there are so many Latinos who have gone through so many hard things crossing the border to give their family opportunities. And I would love to tell their stories, but also not being held down by just doing Latino roles, because I'm also American. But yeah, that's what I really want to do.
Oh man, fantastic. Y'all give her some heart, some love for that. That's really inspiring, Paulina, and it just really shows that, your work is not just on the surface. This is really deep. This is really a passion you have. And I just love the representation that you are both on and off screen. So a lot of people are proud of you. They are inspired by what you're doing. How can people support you? I know, I don't know if you have anything particular, but there are many who are loving you. Again, Lorena has a community called her name is Girl Change the World. She has a she has a community called Everyone, and so inspiring. Yeah. So how can we as a STEM community, or just we as a community, people that love you, Latinos, underrepresented individuals who are dreaming and want to create great things, how can we kind of rally around and even support some of the things that you mentioned, even if it's as little as a follow?
Follow me. And my Instagram is Paulina F. Chávez, if you're wondering. And I am going to be posting a lot more about the food bank. If you can please donate to your local food bank to help families in need. A lot of children that go to school depend on receiving food from school, and so it's really hard right now, the times we're going to, and my hearts are with those families who aren't as fortunate as I am. And so if you can please at least donate $1 to your local food bank, that will help the community so much. And make sure to stay home and stay safe. Don't go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Even if the city's open, please. There's so many people
Yeah.
out. I went to the store today with my mom.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's pretty scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely important that we continue to stay safe, stay considerate. We're so thankful for those who are on the front lines.
Mhm.
We're so thankful that you brought up that way we can help by donating to our local food bank.
Yes.
There's just a lot of needs, and we're just thankful that you were able to bring some smiles and bring some joy to our hearts this
Oh,
evening, as well
happy to
as
be
on
here.
Netflix. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Before we go, my last question,
Mhm.
and this is not have to be extremely deep, but we do ask for sort of like a parting words of wisdom. It can be a mantra that you live by. Maybe it's a words of wisdom that someone gave you advice that we can hold on to as we continue to move forward. Not as if you haven't given us so much already, but just
Ooh.
one final nugget that you can maybe give us as we continue on, and some of us go and watch the rest of the series and just be our best and follow our dreams. What would you like to share?
I mean, I always like to quote Selena Quintanilla. She always said the
Yes.
impossible is possible, and I said that earlier, but it is true. As long as you set your mind to it. And I repeat a lot, set your mind to it, work hard, have self-discipline, and know your worth, because you are worth it. You really are. And don't ever doubt yourself. I mean, you're probably going to doubt yourself sometimes because life is weird sometimes, and you
Mhm.
just do. And you just
Mhm.
do. But you have to get past that because you are enough, and don't let people drag you down. And if they do, pick yourself up because you are worth it. Okay, yeah, you better listen to me, guys. You guys are worth it. Okay, don't think y'all are like below people. Like, no, you are a shining star and you will not die out. Okay.
Man, I love that. I love it. Thank you so much. I want to give you a standing ovation right now. Y'all get the hearts going. Paulina, this was amazing. I am
Thank
so
you.
thankful that you took this time. I
Oh,
promise you,
God.
I'm going to remember those words. I'm going to review them for just days and months to come. I can just tell you that, again, I personally, Dr. Nehemiah Mabry, support you. STEM Media supports you.
Thank you.
Again, like, we're really happy for your success. And we know that there's so much more to come. And so just continue to shine bright and continue to
Thank
carry
you.
on what you shared with us. And we promise, the STEM Media family, we promise we will do the same.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Yes.
reaching out. I love this and I love doing this. So thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. Shout out to your whole team. Shout out to moms. Hope she had a wonderful Mother's
Yeah.
Day. And
Yeah.
season 2, guys, keep your fingers crossed. We're going to be
Can
looking
I
out for
say it?
that.
Yeah, the second drop is coming in June. We don't have a day yet, but it's coming
Did
in
y'all hear
June.
it? Did y'all hear that?
Coming in
Y'all heard that?
June.
Season 2 coming in June. No
June,
date
guys.
yet.
June.
June. That's next month.
That
That's
is
next
next month.
month, y'all.
I didn't get the okay to say that, but I saw that Giancarlo's posted that it's in June, so it's in June,
Hey,
guys. Coming in
hey.
June.
So hey,
Coming
he said it
June.
first. Coming in June. Coming in June. You guys set your clocks. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the whole time. This was great.
Oh, yay.
Paulina. Yes, and we're gonna have to set you up with a tour of NASA JPL for real,
Please, that would be
pretty soon.
amazing. That would be so cool.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. Hope you
Thank
had a great
you.
time. I had a great
Yes,
time, and
I
I
had
hope
an
you have a
amazing
great
time.
rest of the week.
Thank you.
Yes.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming on STEMedia Live. If you are watching on YouTube or you're not on YouTube, take a moment to go to youtube.com, STEMedia's page. We're really going to be leaning into YouTube more. We want to bring you more conversations of people like this who represent STEM on screen, who represent STEM in their workplaces. Go subscribe to STEM Media on YouTube and continue to be inspired. I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as I did. Hope you all have a great, continue to shine bright. We'll catch y'all later on the next STEMedia Live. Talk to you later. Peace.